Hey everybody, is that music familiar to you? This is Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. It's Free Play Friday, or just regular Friday, or maybe for some of you it's still Thursday. Congratulations if you're a little bit behind. But we are going to be doing something I haven't done here in a little while. If you've watched on Twitch, I have done it in a little while ago. But I haven't really talked while playing very much. It's been more of just me going through and playing and chilling. I did want to go ahead though, because the spring tournament is just around the corner, which is probably the biggest event of the year for FF1 Randomizer as a community. I did want to go into a little bit about what the flags are, what the tournament is, what it looks like and everything. I haven't been involved in the planning with it this year like I was last year, but it's been kind of nice to take a back seat and let new ideas go into kind of everything. So I'm going to pause this for just a minute, and I do have another handy-dandy thing pulled up here. Yeah, that's a glorious pause screen there. But yeah, this is the Randomizer website, and I do already have the flags loaded in here. This is the weekly async seed, which is available at the community Discord. There's a button here. I'll have a link for the Randomizer page and the Discord in the description of the video for this as well. But long story short, if you are unfamiliar at all with what a randomizer is, then welcome to a modern way to bring out some life into old games that are all around the world here. The Final Fantasy Randomizer community has a great program for new players, people who are very interested, called the Duckling Initiative. I've been through it. Lots of people have been through it. It's a great way to teach people how to play. This is more of a video that's kind of just a look if you're unfamiliar from the outside looking in. Maybe you remember a little bit about Final Fantasy. Maybe you know a little bit about the randomizer. Maybe you've even seen me or other people race this in the past on Twitch or old YouTube VODs, which is kind of how I discovered it, although not entirely. I actually found Final Fantasy Randomizer through a shout out at a AGDQ sort of run at the end of one of the Link to the Past races that they did on there. But that aside, Final Fantasy Randomizer. If you are completely unfamiliar with how this works, you do need a ROM of the game. No, I cannot help you for how to get a ROM, but whether it's an info dump from an NES card or wherever, you put that into the system, you get what is called a flag set, which goes through all these variables, which I will talk about some of the significant ones for what I'm running today in just a little bit. You get a seed, which pretty much sets the randomization for these variables, and the game fundamentally changes. Enemies are very different. Enemies can pop around, do different things. Treasures are in different places, as you will see. There's a lot of goodies here. But there are some fun percent flags as well. You'll see that the enemies look a little bit different. The instrument that Sarah plays is possibly different. I think I checked that. Yes, I did. The ruby that you get is a different mineral. So there's all kinds of fun little goodies over there or here. Okay, so just a real quick note here. Spring tournament starts April 5th. There still is, at least the time of this posting, time to sign up. So if you're interested at all in what you see here, by all means, feel free to sign up. And if I haven't bored you to death, congratulations. Thank you for still sticking around. The things that are very significant for Final Fantasy to Randomizer, things that are changed. First off, the entire RNG table is changed with this flag checking here. So things are totally just different or across the board from seed to seed versus some manipulations that you may see for speed runs of Final Fantasy on the card. Shops are randomized, so items will appear in different places. Magic levels are randomized or shuffled around. That means that you can get Nuke at level 1, or you could get Cure 1 at level 8. Other things that are very significant, and one of the things I really like about FFR is the script shuffle, and the shuffling of spells and abilities through there as well. It means that sometimes you get imps with Nuke. It means sometimes you get sorcerers that have no death touch and just will kind of tickle you for 2 damage at a time. It means that every time you play the randomizer, it's very different. It's not like some of the randomizers that I've played where it really boils down to just, did you take X route, Y route, did you have to fight these enemies, nor these enemies? Everything is different every time here, which is pretty exciting. You see this little weird question mark flag floating around. This is called a tri-state flag. Pretty much, we won't know until it's on or off until you're actually running the game. So it's a and or kind of option here, but alternate formations. There's actually a bunch of formations in the nitty gritty of the game code that are not used, and this lets them come into the light. Other things that we'll have to deal with here. There's not so much that's really off course here. The bridge is free. We get a free canoe at the very beginning of the game, which is very key to this flag set. There are no loose items if you're familiar with Final Fantasy Randomizer from before. Just keep in mind, you don't have to keep track of loose items here. Just keep in mind that not all locations are created equal. You won't always need the tail. You definitely don't always need the power gauntlet or white shirt to make it through the game. It's just is what it is. The locations or the places that have treasures that will have some of these items, some of them you're needed to progress through the game, like the loot, crown, herb, slab, oxyale, etc. These are all pointed out on this happy little tracker here. Ice cave, ordeals, marsh cave, those are very standard in the community for places that are incentivized. These are dungeons that are not fiend dungeons, but are still places that you need to at least put some weight on the map to keep a runner honest. The other two places are Sea Shrine and Sky Palace, which may sound, and Corneria Locked, which is also pretty standard, but got a little disfavored last year. I'm kind of glad to see it back. Sea Shrine and Sky Palace may look a little weird because those are end-game dungeons, but you see that the placement for the item is actually flagged as random. Now that's very important for this flag set. That means that any chest in the Sea Shrine and Sky Palace can have your item that you need. In the original randomizer, it would be the slab chest, and it would be the gosh, I completely forgot what item you get in the Sky Palace. It'd be the adamant chest. Now it can be anywhere. It can even be in Mirage Tower. So we'll see, hopefully, how that plays out here, because it's one of the things that makes these pod flags, or these flags for the spring tournament, really interesting, is that instead of just old style where you have all your items that you need, you just need to hammer out some dungeons at the end and you can walk through the Sea Shrine, walk through Sky Palace. You have to be honest and usually search through one of them, sometimes both of them. We'll kind of hit that in context. Other things that are changed here. We do have early open progression on. There is the ability to walk to the dwarf cave for the beginning of the game. That may freak some of you out. There's been some people over the years, and especially recently, that have been doing some great coding on this game. Entrances and towns are not shuffled. Later stages of the tournament, they will be. If I do join the tournament, I will be cannon fodder, so I don't have to worry about that very much. Another thing that's really cool that's been added in the randomizer this year from last year is having separate HP scaling for bosses. It used to be like, okay, well, if you want to set the scaling to like really crazy high or low, you'd have like, well, sometimes your boss would have 400% increased health, so Chaos would have 8,000 health, but at the same time, Chaos could also roll like 20% health, so actually have, I guess 500 is the number there. I should know. 400, 500, it's whatever 20% of 2000 is. That'd be 400. But now with the scaling here, what they've done is said bosses will always have 100% health or greater, which is pretty cool. So Lich is always going to be a pain in the butt, but now Lich can be a pain in the butt and have at least 400 health. Chaos will always have 2,000 health, so it's interesting. I don't want to metagame too much here and say how it plays out, but you can't just nuke spam and get through a whole tournament by just spamming nuke at all the fiend bosses. So that's a kind of nice fix here. Another flag that's near and dear to the community's heart is blurst weapons and blurst armor. All that means, and you'll see this a lot as we play this, is that some items have pluses, some items have minuses. Typically, you just want to go for pluses. It's a lot of bonus stats here. I think we can get the pop-up here. Yeah, increases damage, hit, crit. Yeah, it's pretty fun because it makes some weapons a little more viable than others. One thing that is interesting here for the flag set tonight for this async, everything's forced, so I will not get to pick my party. But I guess it's not this one here, it's down here. Yeah, there's so many new features, I have some troubles following through here, but classes are what is called blurst. In other words, there are sometimes bonuses, sometimes malices that you get for classes here. And since we have 4 forced, we are stuck with the blessings. Fortunately, there's no curses on classes or malices on classes because it's pod flags. Those come later. Conveniences, everything's convenient, including NPC guillotine, which I wanted in the tournament so bad last year. It is now here. So earth bats, they cannot hurt you now. Other things, there's a lot of standard sort of balancing and bug fixes. This is more of community preference to a point. Pretty much everything is checked. Some things you may not even realize were ever a problem if you played the original game, like House feeling full HP. You may not have realized that was a problem here. But we also do some things that are different, like doubling Thief and Ninja hit percentage. That's just kind of a balancing thing. Increasing weapon and elemental type bonuses, that's up to 20%, which is pretty cool. And there's also another one that makes sure that Lock and Lock 2 spells that did not function in the game previously, they work now. Actually, there's a lot of spells that didn't function. This game is so freaking buggy. We don't have any other experimental flags. This is actually a bunch of new stuff that's new to me, but it's kind of outside the scope here. But if you want to poke around the randomizer site, there's a lot of active development for this randomizer. It's really made a gigantic comeback. So that's great. That's me talking about these flags. We're going to go over a little bit more in context, but long story short, it's an exciting time to get into Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer, or return to it. We're all the way up to version 4.1, How cool is that? But the key things to look out for this async run, we have a forced party, so who knows what excitement's going to be there. If spells are available to us, we'll have to pay attention to what spells are available. We don't have to worry about digging through every single treasure chest under the sun to find a loose item, but we do have some key locations we're going to go to, and we need to see if we can somehow avoid having to go the wrong way through sea or sky or whatever. There's still a lot of choices to be made. There's some challenges to be had, but the true joy is the friends we made along the way. So that's at least 15 minutes of me talking about the randomizer. That seems like a pretty good budget. Let's go ahead and dive in. So, happy music. I don't normally play with the game music on anymore. I used to play with it on all the time. So this is a bit of a change. Alright, so we always have a little seed here at the bottom, and we always have our little hash mark down here. I'm going to assume I have the right seed and hash. You know what, screw it. I will check Discord. I closed the tab and I was just like, whatever, I'm not going to check it again. I don't need this, but I do. So, on the Discord page, there is a place called Async Weekly, and the hash is Shield Axe, Shirt, Bracelet, Staff, Sword Axe. So I got it right. Hooray. So, it's a new game every time here, and it looks like we have a boom party, as it were. Red Mage, Thief, Red Mage. So we could, if we get magic to go well, it's going to go really well. Magic defense is going to be a problem, so we're going to want to rip them because Red Mages are notoriously terrible with their ability to like resist spells. And Thieves, we're going to need some healing if we're going to need some levels and some HP if we decide to go the Thief route, which we probably will. The bonus here for Red Mage is interesting. If we find a Vorpal, which I used to call Vorparol, and put an R in there for fun, because there's always something, that would pretty much mean, okay, we can use a Vorpal even as a Red Mage. That's not the best bonus in the world, but this is fine. So Salt is... Now let's see what the bonus is for... Ooh, the bonus for the Thief is that you get night spells. Now, one thing I want to check and make sure here, and this is a great time to do this, is while playing on the video here, is night spells. I'm pretty sure that means as a Thief, you get access to level 1, 2, and 3 white magic for certain slots. If you're unfamiliar or don't remember how it works in Final Fantasy from the NES game, those rules all still apply. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have a good time with maybe some white magic, but Dry Salt is good. I use stupid names for people. That's just how it's going to go. But we're going to say start in 3, 2, 1, hooray. So you always start out... We'll do is salt good. Yeah, salt is good. So, Canary Town, we're here. But should we have come? I always check white magic first. Cure 2, harm 3, heal 2. I'm going to come back to that in a second because since we have such a spellcaster heavy comp, I need to know what we can do here. So Ice 2 is great because it's cheap. I don't want to spend all my money on this. Bane's also good to possibly pick up later, except that we may want to pick up some other spells. So heal 2, you can learn that right away. Harm 3, we can't learn. Yeah, you can see I don't care as much about my time right now, and you guys can't learn that until promotion, so that's exciting. Chain armor. Ooh, that's exciting, because I have 3 people that can wear chain armor. Pro rings are also here. Chain armor +4 is a really good get for this early in the game, and I'm hitting the wrong buttons already. In case you didn't know, I do play with a keyboard. Lots of people use a controller. I'm kind of in the minority for that, but it's fine because a keyboard is what I know. Item shop, we have tents available. I can only afford 1, which is fine. No cure potions at the beginning. There's always pures and soft in Canaria, because very early in the randomizer's history, there was a great story of, oh my god, we have enemies that stone or poison, and we don't have access to soft. Now, another thing here, and this is something that is important for dealing with RNG manipulation, is doing a little fight here at the very beginning. I don't always do this. I do this if I have level 2 spells, tier 2 or tier 1 spells. This is just to get a few more spell charges for our first fight. But the other thing I like doing here, I'm just going to take this fight too. I probably shouldn't. But one thing I like to do is to learn the combat table first, and the combat table in Final Fantasy I pretty much goes like this. Imagine a deck of cards, except instead of 52 cards, you have 254 cards. Pretty much as the game goes on, every time you power cycle, which is what I'm doing right now, every step you take is a card getting pulled, and those cards will always be placed in the same order. And if you go through you see I didn't get a single encounter there, and I'm power cycling, I go back to the top of the deck, none of those first steps have an encounter. My encounters will always appear on what card gets pulled. So if card 63 is the first card that has an encounter, that's what I get, and it'll be 63 every time. If I do a soft reset, which is different from a hard reset, this is a terrible encounter. I'm going to cast twice and try to run. But it gives me time to explain. If I do a soft reset, we don't reset the deck to card 0. So that means that sometimes you'll want to do a soft reset, especially if one of your encounters is very early, but that's not the case here. Also, we have the Thief in front because it has been fixed. It wasn't like this in the original NES game, but it's fixed now. The Thief does give a run bonus, and gives a bonus to ambushing opponents if it's on the top step. There's Garland. You see Garland looking especially swole. Don't worry, we'll see him later. Pretty good palette swap considering it's mostly vanilla there. And I run with a tracker. Not everybody runs with the tracker. There are many runners who are much better than me. We received a marble. I'm going to assume that's the ruby. So what I get for playing with settings I haven't used before. But because I went over the locations before, one of the locations we have on our map is the Carnaria chest. So because we have the key, we can just pop these boxes open right away. How fun is that? I think it's pretty fun. I probably should have checked to make sure that I'm actually broadcasting correctly. It looks like I am. Seems like everything is fine. The other thing, though, is that weirdly enough, sometimes the default chest is the chest where the thing goes in. Unless they didn't change it for Canaria, I should look closer at the flags. We got a Sun Sword -5, which the Thief cannot use. Even though it's -5, which means it's mostly garbage, it's still a Sun Sword. So it counts for something. But yay, first stretch of the game done. While we're here, got some kind of tough choices about what spells to get. I think I am going to get Lit too, just because there's lots of things that resist ice that do not resist lightning. And against my better instincts, I'm going to grab Bane. I don't know if I'm going to go for a 4-person party strat. There's a great runner of this game named Tarnan who does an amazing job running 4-person parties, but like many people, I am no Tarnan. So we're going to get some safety softs, and I'm going to get some pures. You'll hear me talk about a lot of names of people that maybe you do know, not know. I've played Final Fantasy Randomizer for a while now, and there's a lot of great people I've kind of gotten to know along the way. The important thing is that just pretty much Oh wow, we got the very short credit roll. I didn't realize that was a new feature. Why am I going this way? That's not very smart of me. And I lost count of how many steps I've taken, so what I'm going to be doing here, while talking about people waxing poetic and say if I bring up people's names, it's probably because you should look for races of theirs on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, or just look out for them in the Discord if you decide to join. There's a lot of great people, there are a lot of great resources. We have level 2 Fade, Free Seed. Fade is slightly weaker than Nuke, and Nuke is the strongest spell in the game. We don't need any of this because we have Fade. Don't need to check the weapon shop because we have Fade. Also, we have Heal 3, which is a great spell. And you know who else can cast Fade because he has Night Magic? It's the Thief, because Knights get all the level 2 spells. It's level 1 and level 3 where they have a restriction. Level 1, they don't get slot 2. Level 3, they don't get slots 2 and 4. Trust me, play this game enough, you learn this stuff. Anyway, since we have 4 Fade casters, and this is going to be a laugh now, we can just kind of talk about whatever. Actually, that's a great way to have the game punch you in the face later. Alright, I do have some level 2 charges, but I didn't stay at the end, so apparently my Thief doesn't have them. I guess we'll see. Got some cat stuff going on over here. Alright, so, Bicky got blasted. I always wonder, like, how do the people of Provoca feel that their town, like, has this massive brawl up here? Probably okay, but when you use, like, an endgame spell, like, I'm blasting you with Holy Power, there's some heals, so we're gonna need some of that, but maybe not as many as I bought. Oh yeah, the whole not having to buy one at a time is one of my favorite features in the randomizer. Wood -1, not good enough. But, yeah, I always wonder, it's like, okay, we just nuked a corner of the town. It's like, does that just mean it's Thursday? Friday? We don't have a boat, but we do have a canoe. You know, this is a really good point to point out the map here. So I don't care if my timer's running, we're going to talk. So we have some options here. Right now we're here, that's Provoca, that's Canaria. Hopefully my cursor's showing. This is Dwarf Cave. Matoya, that's Temple of Fiends. We'll be there later. Matoya's Cave, we don't have the crystal to turn into her. There's stupid cat stuff. Northwest Castle, don't have anything to turn into. Marsh Cave, there could be a key item there. Elfland, probably pretty good. Peninsula Power, still in the randomizer, could potentially grind out some levels there. Ice Cave and Sin of Location, it's around here somewhere. There it is flashing. Because we have this certain progression on, we can canoe through here. We can go down here. We can go over to get the free item from over here. It could be the floater. Any of these could be the floater. We don't know. I'm going to second guess what I did here, which is a terrible move and the sign of a terrible runner. I did a hard reset, and we're going to go this way and just see if we can walk around without running into any encounters here. Now, what I like to do when I am playing with music is to try to listen to music cues. Because there's always the same theme when you leave the menu. Do, and see, I hit a tile there, so I turned the wrong way, so I missed it, but I should have gotten more tense. But now I'll tell you, the Peninsula Power is not the best place to go when you have a long power cycle walk before your first encounter. And by the way, I'm checking the item shops because since items are all moved around, the shop item, which is not the bottle, as you see we've already gotten it, is going to be in one of these shops. In Viz 2, we cannot learn. Life is Red Wizard learnable. Saber is our only spell here, so nothing too exciting yet. We do have some gold. Oh my god, it's going to be so expensive to go to wherever. Elfland with all of its magic. So there's the TNT. That's usually a good sign that we went the right way and we need to go back and knock on the dwarves' door. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. I am gonna try to push here real quick though. We're gonna do not a power cycle. We're gonna do a soft reset, and we're gonna see if we can get an encounter here to get some more fade charges. I don't like to do this too much. It's really unfortunate that it was just one PED, or EXP'd, as it's called here. And those were chonky boys, perhaps. But we got a few levels. Okay, so what is with your magic charges? I guess they'll come later. Weird. So let's visit the dwarfs. Then depending on what the dwarfs have, I guess we'll go down to ye old... Okay, so we were pretty close on the music cue there. And we know we have another encounter pretty shortly after. But yeah, it's dwarf time. We'll stop by Elfland just because we like these elves. Actually, I'm going to stop by the castle first to loot them blind. Actually, it's really nice that we got the key before the TNT. So now we can rob the dwarf treasury and the elvish treasury all in one go. Because we're the light warriors. Crime is our goal. Warp, that's excellent. You don't really want to have warp in slot 1 because I have a bad tendency to misuse it, but maybe there's something here we can use. There's not, so we're just going to have to risk the biscuit. I do talk like that on a daily basis. Ice 3 is probably good enough to put in there first. I know I have Fade, but it's nice to have backup sweepers. Especially when Heal 3 is also on the same slot. So we have how many warp casters? 3. I'm going to regret this a little bit if level 4 has life, but I should be okay. Let's see. Silver, nothing. There's some pretty limited armor that these guys can wear. There's a house. I don't really want to buy another one. I did get one from a treasury, which is really convenient. I was kind of hoping for some more tents. So did I screw up and not buy life? Yes. Okay. So Salt's going to be a life caster. Is going to be a life caster. And we're going to have to wait. We don't have the charges for it yet, but there's Nuke as well. Well, we're definitely coming back for Nuke and or Quad X. So far we have one incentive location down, and we have the canoe, so we don't have to walk around all these stupid rivers. And once again, listen to the music cues, and you too can avoid any encounters. That's a bridge. If you walk over that before crossing the other bridge, you still get the credit roll. Here's the Hooray Dwarf. Become Vengeance, David. Become Wrath. The Hooray Dwarf is now dead. You're welcome. So turn in the TNT. Do we have Lazy Dwarves, which means it gives us the adamant? Nope, but it gives us the herb, which means we went in the correct direction. That rarely happens. Oh wow, hey One Thub, thank you for the raid of 13 people. That is most impressive. Right now we're running the Community Async for the Discord. And yeah, it's a blast so far in that we have 4 characters that can cast Fade, and 3 of them can cast Nuke as well. And so far we've been making the right calls. In fact, the encounter table is so generous that I think I am going to just go back to Elfland real quick. It's going good. Well, I mean, I still have time to practice. Alright, so am I going to screw up the music cue? Just because I'm now half watching chat? I think so. Yes, the raiders, they have arrived. It's always nice to see. Also, I should know where I'm turning in the herb to. So, herb here. Prince, wake up with the floater, let me skip marsh. That's a cube. Alright, that's a sign that we probably have to go to visit somewhere early, but we do have 1 warp charge. I actually got no gold from the dwarves, which is weird. No, this is not the vanilla game, this is the randomizer. So the randomizer has all kinds of goodies in it, including ogres that are ogres or Georges that cast slow. There's some other people that run the randomizer nightly. I'm running it because this is from the Discords. The Final Fantasy 1 randomizer's Discords, I should be clear, weekly race. Yeah, the randomizer is good stuff. This is actually a great time to get into it. There is a very large sort of big tent tournament coming up soon, and there is a new player boot camp that is going to be going on as well. We're going to run from gargoyles because I never trust gargoyles. We're going to run from scum because it's in the name. Fortunately, none of this is super dangerous. Alright, that's money. We need money. I actually might warp out with that money just because I have such a big level 4 shopping list. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. And these flags, I'll be honest, are very accessible. And when I say flags, I just mean the settings, because what I'm running right now is the settings for the spring tournament that will be happening. But oh, those are some crappy chests. This is a little weird to do it this way, but it's fine. We have 2 houses now. Alright, randomizer. We'll go over this again. What happens is that you have the default game, you throw in a bunch of settings to change up the game, and things end up going very differently. Treasures end up in different places, the progression goes in different order, enemies have different abilities. In this case, for the flag set, as it's called, that I'm running, or the special settings that I'm running for this, is that I have 4 forced party members. It's 3 red mages and a thief. And we are still... Oh god, you know what's going to happen here is that the locked chests are going to be the ones that have the good stuff, so I have to do that stupid walking pattern. But one of the things here is that the wizard chest is not necessarily the chest that has the item that I need in it, which is not necessarily going to be the crown, but it could be the crown. Also, this may not be wizards, it's zombie whiz-vamps. I still somehow do not have level 2 magic on my thief, which is weird, but hopefully fate will be enough. Whiz-vamps are no joke. So, there's a fade. That's a really good experience. And a copper gauntlet for our trouble. Yeah, also another thing, not the vanilla game, because our heal potions are on the top left. Oh, that was a controversial change. You can still throw doors around, though. And scorpions are probably... something's gonna nuke us. Oh no, it's fine. There's so much more to explain, and I love answering questions. So, that's a dead try. Okay, and we don't have level 4. So we're just gonna carry the thief corpse in the front, because once again, this is the randomizer, so dead bodies do not go to the back row immediately. Also, Try was not wearing armor. Sucks for him. Let's just fade for safety. We're gonna have a little bit more problem running now. But yeah, the randomizer introduces a bunch of bug fixes. Things that are fixed in the later versions of this game. That's fire. We're not dealing with fire anymore. Alright, I hope that's not what's guarding the locked chest. That's a cabin. No, Marsh Lock does not incentivize, you're absolutely right. However, the treasure chest can be any of these chests. And it seems that I have picked the last chest, unless I somehow missed getting the white shirt, and I didn't. Okay, I do not trust our bones either. There's just a few enemies that traditionally have screwed me over the years. And it looks like our bones have glance. Oh, well, that was the crawl that had glance. So I'm totally right there. Okay. So hello to anyone else who is gathering in here. This is Final Fantasy I Randomizer, and I'm going to be eating my own words by saying this was a free run. It's a canal. Oh boy. Where's my stupid icon for the canal? There it is. This is actually not my icon. This is a tracker designed by Seely Faye, who is a great designer of many things, and was for a long time a very active member of the community. Be interested to see if she returns for the spring tournament or not. It can be in locked rooms under logic because I have the key. Key was one of my first items, so normally you're right, it wouldn't be able to, but in this case, it's definitely maybe. I think I'm gonna, Salt Try is good. That name doesn't work very well, but I think I'm gonna let the thief be dead. Because I was really hoping for a little more magic oomph. And I need to get that. Oh, would help if I actually bought the items. You know, for all the things that have changed about like placement or being able to buy more stuff In general, I still misclick all the time. Alright, so magic here. The magic is freaking loaded. Life 2. Salt needs life 2. And then we get Nuke. Because the magic is just so good, we don't even need a thief. Now don't get me wrong, there are great reasons to carry around a thief. All the time. And I just realized something. Is that I don't have a boat yet. So there's my southern accent, just deciding to creep out. Hello, good morning. Hope y'all are doing good on this Friday, or Thursday for some of you. I don't have a boat, which means the ship is gotta be an ice cave. Gross. I really wish I bought more cabins. Can we push? We can push. Alright. Alright. Yeah, have a great night to anyone who's popping in or out of here. Like I said, it's exciting to see people who maybe don't know about the randomizer, so by all means, ask questions if you have questions. This is a great opportunity to just get to know Final Fantasy in a new way. The Sage's item was, oh gosh, it was the tail or the marble? No, marble was from the princess. You see, I have that tracker with all the people up there. I know I've been to the Sage's. It's not a boat, because if it was a boat, it would have been north of Elfland. Okay, this sucks. Although they're called eye mages, which still makes me laugh instead of images. Because I'm old, and old jokes are good. Alright. So, Ice Cave. Just like other things, the treasure could be in any of these treasure chests. But I'm still going to do the warp trick, because that's just good habit. I don't like falling into the pits unintentionally, so you can warp back up here and check these chests, and it's not the incentive chest, as we know. Catman. I will actually fade you guys. Yeah, thank you. This tracker was, like I said, made by Sealy Faye, or a Tiny Fairy as she used to be known as. It's way better than anything I can make. There's lots of trackers out there, though. If I was trying to do this proper, I'd be like, I've talked to King, Sarah, Bicky. One of these is a sage. I don't know who Lucane is, but it's probably somebody important. I have not found a vendor item yet. We've been to the Prince. We've been to Narek. We haven't been to Smithy McBeard's sword, as Will Cleosis has called him in the past. I think that's who coined the name. Ooh, Sandwich Station. Okay. Sandworms are notorious for being great experience pinatas that will run from you at a moment's notice. We can cut against that by turning... Oh, there's our ship. Do I want to check the rest of these treasure chests? I don't really like Ice Cave, so I think the answer is no. But those sandwiches are too delicious. I gotta take one. I think I'm gonna check the six-pack down at the bottom, just because I'm gonna want a ribbon. And it does take a little bit of time, but I'm not too concerned about my finish time this go around. I'm just happy to explore here, but yeah, very, very typically the, Oh, you know what, we're gonna check these chests anyway, because I don't think I have enough warp charges to get my butt out of here, going the other direction. R-Bones, we don't have nuke charges yet. Fortunately, I have chain armor +5, which is ridiculously good. So I've been to the Marsh incentive. Last location, that chest, but it's okay. Frostwolves. Just see if we can run. If they have anything terrible, then we'll know to watch for it next time. Or we could just not run from them. That's also an option. And I apologize if my keyboard's loud. On Zoom calls all the time. I get like, who the flip is that typing? And it's me. Me forgetting to mute. Ages 4. This is a risky step of the day. Hydras are terrible. I guess I really wanted a ribbon. Gold bracelet will do. Alright. Okay, throw another door. That's how we do it on this channel. If there is a little bug or exploit I can do just for fun, I will try to do it. But there's so many things that have been fixed. I'm not going to check the 3 chests by the pit. It's going to be 2 ribbons that I'm walking by, obviously. Oh, always the step outside the door. This is why we got, oh, we had 3 fade charges this whole time. So cockatrices and a water break. Good times. So, thank you, Price Lightborn, for the follow. I hate that I'm a terrible Twitch streamer and forget to look at the little thing on the left, but I appreciate it. And, I would have something clever to say, but I'm a little too excited I have a boat, but I will explain this one more time for those of you sitting at home. This is not how I wanted to explain it, though. Map time! Once again, if you're playing the randomizer and you say to yourself, where the hell do I know a boat is? If you get the ship in the Ice Cave, it has to be in Provoca, because even though this area is connected in the randomizer, at least with the flags that are on and the flags most people run, the boat logic is always such that it goes by the vanilla game. We can't get down here, with a canoe, because this is blocked, so it has to be outside of Provoca. I mean, just talk to the Brooms and Matoyas. You will find out. It's a secret to everyone. Also, it's B select. B plus select. Let's be clear. Alright, so as I've said before, I am trying my best to manipulate the encounters. I did a terrible job there. But I'm trying to listen to sound cues, which I don't normally have the luxury of because I don't normally run with the game audio on. I used to run with it all the time, but there comes a time where you run this so much that you're just like, whatever, I missed something. Whoops. Here's Provoca. Gosh, what's that? Oh, I see. Okay. So, we're on a boat. It's going fast, yeah. No, that's good. I still remember it was pretty much when I saw the randomizer, and like I said at the beginning of the stream, I heard about this randomizer years ago from a shout out that it got during an AGDQ run of Link to the Past randomizer, which was one of the first randomizers featured in that marathon. And I was like, holy shit, there's one for Final Fantasy. And then it took me about a year before I talked to anybody else. I should, by the way, really think about who I'm going or where I'm going right now. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. We can't freaking learn ball. Okay. We'll deal. Fire 3 is good. Lock 2 is good. Would be better if I gave it to the right people. We're not going to learn Fire 3. I could try to learn Brack, except we can't get it until promotion. Don't have to translate that yet. We do have the marble, so we can absolutely turn that in to Bicky. Oh, you know what? I could get some silver armor if I wanted to, but I think +5 chain is good enough for me to not turn around now. So here we go. But yeah, what I was trying to say before is that I'm trying to encounter manipulate. Oh god, I'm running out of save items though, so it's going to get a little tricky. I have warp. Give the marble. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It still tastes so sweet. There's nothing here now. But sadness and emptiness and my lack of tents. I don't normally check these chests. Last spring tournament, I pushed really hard to have these incentivized. I think it worked out pretty well. There are some other problems with the flags, but Ice Sword +1 is not enough to keep it. But no, I thought having Titans be incentivized did a great job of balancing the map, but no reason to do that 2 years in a row. It's a slab! If only we knew where Dr. Owen lived. Alright, this is risky. I'm gonna run into somebody. Yep. Gerwolves. I use the silly names with the weird palette shuffles. Not everybody does. They don't like it when their Iron Gulls and Mudmen look the same. By the way, this is totally wasted time. I even sailed by Canaria. I could have gotten more tents. So this is completely on me. Okay, we can take a few more steps. Get to Melmond. Just stay there until this all blows over. Please tell me I actually saved. Okay. Dr. Un. Fortunately, the people who designed the pod flags decided not to shuffle the NPCs, which is consistently noted as one of people's least favorite flags in all of Final Fantasy Randomizer. Did not get the silver armors again, even though I walked right by it. Nice. Did not get pro rings, even though I walked right by them. Nice. We have a canoe. We have warp. I'm just looking at my items here. I guess it's going to be an ordeals trip. That should be fine. We don't need too many save items outside of ordeals anyway. You know what I could do? I could, well, I missed it. What I could have done if I was better at this game was decide to go over and stop by Elfland and get some cabins that were there, but instead my better instincts said, you know what, let's just go over here and take some danger steps in the marshes and run into an ambush of Catmans and Sabertees that will really make me have a good day. And they have Mute Touch. Well, that is the best. I mean, it's free experience if I can kill them, but these Sabertees can roll really high in health. And we get the FF1R special, as Edgeworth likes to say, and suddenly we don't get any experience and waste some time. By the way, in case you didn't know, you need the crown to get into Castle Ordeals. That setting is turned off, but oh shit, okay. This is why warp's really nice here. So down, down, down. 1, everybody has a system for this. So it's down, down, 2. Maybe down, down 2. Someone's gonna laugh and say, oh god, you totally missed this, but down, down 2 is the start. Yeah, I think the first time, just looking back at Prius, and I'm really sorry, Lightborn, if I'm mispronouncing your name, but my first randomizer run took me about 6 hours. And my time went down since then, but still, 6 hours is a lot less than it took me to beat the vanilla game. Because, man, that was... I still remember how crushed I was by the Gasties and the Temple of Fiends. It's just like, I'm ready for this. I am not ready for this. Okay. Almost cast Nuke on nothing. Okay, woo. We have Ice 3. In case you didn't know, waters are weaker to ice than they are to lightning. And they're... oh, those are squishy. Well, I'm getting high rolls. We're not gonna risk it too much here, because a pack of waters that big is very dangerous. But we're level 16, that's great levels. So that's why I have one dead party member right now, is because that will pass the experience to everybody else. The reason that I have him in the second slot is because that means that 50% of the hits will go to my top character, and 25% of the other ones will go the other way. That's one Wizmummy, which also another enemy I don't trust. Pronounced like the car, I'm an Egyptian princess. Well, good to know. Black shirt would be good for the dead thief. Okay, what's on this tile? Rusnix, who are now running from us. Alright, so we have a rod. We probably need to reevaluate the situation, because if we don't get the chime or the Oxyale in the waterfall, we are gonna have a bad time. Just a quick look at the key items here. Rod, tail, cube, bottle. We can't turn in the bottle, we can't turn in the slab, which is not even in our inventory anymore. So all signs, can't talk. All signs point to the waterfall. You know, all signs but one. Could also be the vendor item and the desert up here. So prudent to check that as well. Sucks that I'm not gonna have a lot of save equipment to do so, but the experience splits between the 3 living characters. There is a setting to turn it off, but that's not the case in the pod flags, because that is probably the second least favorite flag that I can possibly see turned on here. Tents are good. We'll buy lots of tents. Houses are good. Buy those. Heals are great. Probably can't hold that many. I should pay more attention. Alright. That's fine. So, back to Encounter Manipulation Land. We have the market cornered on tents. We are starting our own outdoor provision company, which is great because 3 of them down the road shut down during the pandemic. I don't know why we needed that many in town to begin with, but what can you do? Listen to the music. Look, our canoe is very dry, okay? As is the humor. So, bats. There is a flag set that was designed, programmed by Leggy Star Scream, who has done a lot of great programming work over the years on this, to randomize the waterfall. And I really like the randomized waterfall, but I understand why they're not running it in the tournament. You know, we have our own sovereign area. We haven't come up with a good name for it yet, but I promise you we'll plant the best stuff. Nah, man. Gotta get those kids out of there. That whole situation is a very, very big pisser. It's not just a pisser, it's literally the kind of thing that is technically we're not in war, so we can't really call it a war crime. That green dragon's not very green, but the fact that we ever have just intentionally tried to rip kids at the border away from refugees and then send them to families and sort of shred the documentation and get people away, that's just terrible. Terrible from a standpoint of it's just terrible from a human level, terrible from a standpoint of in my work I have to deal with plenty of oh, okay man, have poison, you can chill now. That's gonna make Sky a lot of fun. Oh god, we're not totally dead, but we're close. Oh god, you didn't kill him. Alright. But yeah, I have to deal with people losing their kids a lot, and that's hard for anybody. Okay, stuff. We are not touching that tile again. And I don't know why I'm checking these chests other than for a ribbon. A ribbon would be nice. Oxyale, so we're proximity routed this very well. Now, according to plenty of people, I can't learn Wall. The problem with Wall is that it is slot 3, level 5, and that is unlearnable by red mages or red wizards. So, sucks, but that's the shakes. Okay, so it's in Gaia. Worth knowing. And when I say it, I mean the item. So we know now it's not the floater, which means I'm pretty certain the floater has to be here. It's weird when seeds funnel you like this, but maybe we have a vanilla chime. Smart Money says go to the Kraken side first and then do mermaids afterwards so that you don't have as many chests to check. The other side of it, and I like the Spell Zap School of Thought. Spell Zap, 2 years running tournament champion, has this to say, which is if you know you're going to fail, why would you even try to run? Such as, if you know you're going to fail the Temple of Fiends because you don't have the right gear, right levels, right whatever, why are you putting yourself out there? And you know what? It's going to be really fun because I'm pretty sure I don't have Crown yet, so we're going to have a quest turn-in chain like hell for something, and it's probably going to be for the floater. Lobster time. Alright, I don't make jokes here. At least I wasn't trying to there, so let's just bug out. Not like that. Okay, that's a waste of slow too. Oh, both sharks want to slow us down. Alright. And doot. That's okay. Let's see if we can go better. I guess... Has somebody been fixing this on the sly? Okay. I guess it's the best we do. Excalibur, that's vendor bait. And there's sea snakes, which don't do a lot for us. Kraken could be a really dangerous fight right now. And it's lobster party, so I don't trust any of this. For some reason, there's no wall tile there. That is a pretty easily fixable thing, but nobody's fixed it, so I'm still gonna do just the weird thing there. I did that every single race in the spring tournament last year, and it did not cost me a win, and it did not cost me a loss, so... Sometimes, even in a setting like that, you can still have fun. This looks awful. Alright. Because if you're not having fun, why are you playing Final Fantasy? That's what I used to put for all the weekly asyncs on the Discord. Oh, that is a really good tile. If in case I need to level, that's actually a tile that is worth running all the way into C for. So, good to know. Oh boy. Please use Scorch. For once I'd rather you use your ability. Because ghosts are terrible, because they punch hard all the time. Fortunately, they punch Salt, who is made of salt. You can tell by the white hair. Of course, I guess I should be worried about what ability is after. Okay, well. We are just going to do a soft reset. And we're going to hope we don't run into ghosts anymore. Fun times. But that means we have a lot of treasure chests we don't need to check. And we get a Naga right away. Means we'll have a nice run somewhere in the middle of this dungeon. Also, if you are not used to wiping because of weird shit coming from enemies, welcome to Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. You will die. It's very... I wouldn't say it's like super rare, but it's not the most common thing in the world to have a run where you don't wipe and die at least once. If you do, it's because you're much better than me and you did some really good planning. Oh look, lobsters. Let's chow down. I need to make some new emotes. It's the long and short of it. Oh, hey, show! Shit, man, I am totally too busy dying in Sea Shrine and didn't see you pop in. Hope you're doing well. It's just, apparently, I'm streaming and it's a party. And apparently, I can't make the screen do more than just a few casual little lines. Yeah, Show can tell you all about my method to my madness for the tournament, because he wiped the floor with me last year. But it was still one of my favorite races because we had a draft, and that draft was hilarious. It was like, I think it was Black Belt, 2 White Mages, and a Thief. So, and Show runs crazy parties all the time. And, so he was very much in his element, and even if I had ran, like, as good as I could have, I probably still would have been 5 minutes behind. So, that's the kind of fun that you can have here, if you will let yourself have fun, even in a tournament setting. Yeah, well, I mean, silly parties is just fun. Like, this async is forced. That's fun. I promised myself in the tournament last year that I will draft every time, as long as people will agree. And there were only 2 opponents that did not want to draft. And honestly, my tournament experience was better for it. There is a certain beauty in having to fight through the limitations the seed gives you, which of course begs the question, why am I letting my thief take a dirt nap? We'll wake him up for Kraken. Of course, the great part about my run on that end was that I didn't check Let's use Quad X. Oh, I have Nuke. I haven't been using Nuke this whole time. This is great. I should learn my spells. That was a run where I didn't check the Sage item in Crescent Lake. And I remember a discussion afterwards. I looked at the, I think it was the chat log for the broadcast team. And someone was like, surely Asher, check that. And Danny, 3883, I think that's the name, or I got it backwards. But Danny, the like stalwart broadcast administrator for the Discord, she was like, nope, he totally didn't. And I didn't. And I said I was going to revive my thief. So, let's revive the thief. I probably should have given him a weapon. Nukes on parade. And I should... Oh wait, we can't click that because I actually have not found the incentive item yet, so... Kraken is probably not going to kill the thief, and I'm gonna... Oh wait, we're hitting Kraken with something with the thief. That's awesome. So because this is a boss, scaling is still at 100%, and thank you for killing the thief. And we killed him. I'm not too concerned about my splits here. Nor should you be. I did count my chickens a little bit because technically the orb is not lit until you do that walk over the tile. I have seen people screw up races because they exit out of excitement before doing that, but this is hedging against ghosts. Alright. I still haven't found the floater or turn of the tail, so I'm pretty sure C has to be it. I checked that bottom right chest, it was nothing. Ever since I saw spells that beat somebody just by getting the chest over here, or getting one of those side chests on the first floor, it was just eye-opening, hey, hold on. I gotta check both those chests every time. Now there is a key lock chest in the middle of this floor. I normally wouldn't check it first because it's not on my optimum route. But since we got some people here that maybe don't realize, oh god, oh, you know what, this used to be permanently unrunnable. We're killing these guys because we don't want to deal with it, because red mages are terrible at running, but they did finally make these unrunnable after like 3 or 4 years of the randomizer existing. So that's exciting. Should probably also click the robot while I'm here. Alright, so there's good stuff. Anyway, this crescent room is key locked. We know this because if we talk to the door, it says the door is locked by a mystic key. You're supposed to have the mystic key by the time you get here, and of course we keep a house in the crescent room, but it's a really nice house. Since I've turned that around, I probably should check the top floor, but what are the odds that the incentive item is in the top floor, in that top room, and not somewhere in Mermaids? Fairly low. That has screwed me before, and it'll probably screw me here today. But yeah, there's like all kinds of just arcane knowledge about this game. There's so many things I'm supposed to know about in life, and I'm wasting my brain space on this, so good times. Alright. So, Gershark. Do. Now, I'm ready for y'all to point and laugh if I don't get the right stuff here, or if my cat, one of them, that's Miss Kitty Fantastico behind me, she's been really food motivated lately. So sometimes she'll just be like, yeah, anytime you move, you're feeding me, right? So she's sitting on the box waiting, on the pile of boxes behind me. Wait a minute. Okay, technically that's not the correct incentive area. But yeah, she's waiting for me to finish up so I can feed her, and I fed her just before I started this. It's tough being a cat. I'm checking this because I don't have ribbons and I don't have wall access. It's fun. Alright. Soft. And this is not going to be ribbons. Mercifully, I got the floater before having to do the big chain turn-in that's coming. So I have the bottle to turn in. We don't have exit, but we have enough warp charges to just get out of here. And we can warp out of town. Might not be worth it, but we're gonna do it anyway. I don't know if I have a great reason to upgrade my party. Someone who's maybe more knowledgeable in the game than me can just tell me what advantage I might gain from upgrading my party from red mages, other than reviving my thief corpse and turning it into a ninja corpse. And I just fucked up that voting exercise. I mean, at this point, and if I was like really hardcore ears pinned back racing, I would be thinking about the 20 seconds of time it takes to walk to Bahamut to turn in the tail and say to myself, is that worth my time? So, oh, you guys can't even run from some sahags. Fun times. Since I'm not encounter manipulating here, I'm gonna get an encounter on the way through the desert. No, I didn't. Okay. Floater, Artea strats. Let's get the floater and put it on the tile that actually has the airship. Artea, a runner, probably the only runner from the famed, esteemed, oh my god, people are really good at this game. Okay, fast. Fast is worth promoting for. First slot in Black Magic and Gaia is learnable by Red Wizards. Oh, those are expensive. But we have a lot of armor to sell. Black shirt, ice armor. Technically, we want to keep the ice armor in case we do decide to revive the Weekend at Bernie's. Alright, we'll get more gold. Especially if we have to eat Gasties. But yeah, Artea, one of those legendary runners that he does occasionally race from time to time. I have never faced him, which means I haven't lost him by like 20 minutes, but I still find it, Oh, look, we got a baby grand piano! Could have bought more than one. Alright. I found that way too funny for some reason. So it's not a loot today. Today we gotta lug the whole damn thing downstairs into 2,000 years in the past. We're not playing the baby grand here, though. Alright, fairy in a bottle gives us an adamant. So I probably should be clicking these things just for the sake of the audience. We have the floater. Adamant I just clicked. Loot, there we go. And since we're here, this is easy enough to do. I mean, technically this is a time loss too, if it doesn't pan out, because Lefane may or may not be a required item. I think I can. I was so close. I thought I could make it to, oh god, we have 2 encounters. Okay, this is officially a little bit of a time loss. That's okay. Get some poison sounds. There we go. That's the nice part about playing with the game music, is that you get to hear this lovely song of our people. It's a power gauntlet. No, it's probably worth it. Okay, a little more. And see, it's really nice because the poison sounds ends up blocking out some of the game music in the background. It's interesting how that works. I've played a little bit with the sound for sort of the Final Fantasy game and NES and how that works, and it doesn't use a lot of the sound channels for the NES that are available. So we don't get to hear the full blast music of Bahamut giving us the goods. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to need to get pretty high levels to get level 7. But fast is one of those things that's worth it. Technically, we don't have a lot of stuff that we need yet. Another thing that's really nice here, this is a crab cake strategy. Oh, there's our ribbon. Excellent. So I don't really need to check too many more chests. But one thing that's really good that you can do is to go ahead... Oh, well, I should probably use a house at some point. But if you fly up in the airship and you get some stuff that you like this for instance, if you go in the air, you land, you walk in. No one's really said anything about the poison yet. I'm a little surprised. I'm pushing the envelope here at this point. But I don't like any of these. I can just stop, fly out, hard reset. I have no steps on the first few I have no encounters on the first few steps. And I'm really only checking these just because I'm already here. I need a little bit of gold, so I'm going to hold on to that. Because I still need to buy pro rings, probably. I've already gotten cracked out once. There's a pro cape. Okay. Let's use the damn pure. Probably need to buy some more. Alright, so adamant. Dwarf cave's over here, but I'm going to stop by Canary real quick. Just for a brief supply run. Because I need more... Oh, that still screws me. That used to be the buy 10 option. Need to do some more outdoor provisions, get some more softs, and we're good. Once again, I don't really care about the red splits. I'm happy to take time to explain things. That's Astos, the friendly elf. Nothing could possibly ever go wrong. Hooray. Again. It's an NPC guillotine joke. There's our crown. Crown is probably going to turn into the crystal because we're in Bizarro Land. I could check the tiles. What I really should do at this point is make sure that I have the ribbon equipped on somebody. That'd be smart instead of keeping it on the dead thief. Probably also equip that pro cape. Alright. Astos, what you got? You got a crown. I could just quad X him, probably. He counts as a monster, not a boss, so... And we got a chime. Okay. That's everything except the crystal. And now I'm sitting here saying, where the hell did I not turn in the crystal for? But because I have the rod, chime, cube, oxyale, key, and baby grand, I have everything I need. And it's going to be really funny to think later about what did I miss. So we can start clearing out the rest of the dungeons. Okay, I am missing one thing, and that is a proper weapon to swing at the final boss. And I'll tell you right now, the crystal's going to be in Sky, which is kind of what I said at the start here for these flags. Because the chests are randomized, what ends up happening is that sometimes you do get to be able to what's called go mode, or just walk straight through one of the dungeons. But at least with these flags, you're not walking straight through both of the dungeons. So Sky or Sea, but usually not both, ends up being relevant. And there's a lot of reasons for that I learned about based on a lot of flag testing last year that I'm not going to go into now. But I love that there's 2 Vorpal swords in the game. Bane sword, that's actually pretty nice. Red Dragon's also pretty nice, but we're gonna run because I don't trust that spell list. I don't like bulls either. Wow, highly magic resistant bulls. But because it takes 2 key items to get in the Sky. There's a katana. Oh, damn it. Do I have to really revive this stupid thief? Fine. What a waste. Maybe I don't have to. We've got Gasties we can eat. It's fine. It's fine. Just swallow my pride and do it now. It's just the weekly async. I got ice armor. I actually sold a good shield for him. So that sucks a little bit. Look at this. Look at this school of menuing. This is terrible. Alright. So we have an in-game sword. It's just not the sword I wanted. But we'll hug the Gasties for a little bit. Oh, look, you tried to just... Carrie knows. Carrie always knows who to punch. Okay, swing and actual good damage. Alright. Sky next. How many houses do I have? 8 houses, that's fine. Can do Sky, then Earth. I may cheat in Earth and see if I can get a tile that's better than the Earth Cave has a lot of good spike tiles. I'm going to check the first floor here, just because I have a really good run. But I do think with a party like this, that can get rolled by a max roll nuke really easily. There's a Mazmune. Well, guess who's dying? Real quick. Try. You're dead. Again. There's guards. Guards are nice. So see, RNG gives. And here's our terrible OK men again that we should be nuking. So we're just gonna have to let Try eat it on his own time. Wow. You lived through all that. Okay, man. Well, for once, that was a very productive first floor of this dungeon. Now we're just gonna go mode the rest of this, because 1 ribbon on these flags and 1 in-game weapon if I have a melee strategy that doesn't involve a black belt. Good enough. My levels are still not very happy though, so we are going to take some smart fights along the way, like a blue dragon that hopefully will punch Try. That wasn't a very hard punch. Blue dragons also don't count as bosses, they're just that chunky. I'm going to have 2 red mages punch, which is a waste of time, but that's the hit we wanted. And vampires are good enough. I don't know what it's going to take to get Try to ever get more magic charges, but it's over now. And up we go. Sorcerer's not worth it, especially with the ambush. Alright, we need to check any treasures here, so we can just run. Metal Slimes, on the other hand, are good enough to fight. If you have Fade or Nuke, they're even better. If you have Fire 3, they're weak to that. Fortunately, they tried to glare my 1 person wearing a ribbon. We did get a crit with the katana, so that worked out. Now, kind of the ETA for these pod flags, for me, is anywhere between an hour 20 and an hour 40. Whiz Vamp, that's nice. Preferably on the lower side. Hopefully Earth goes fast. If we do run into Friend Mech, we are going to give him a hug. This is strictly a greed check for a second ribbon because I'm already a little behind on time anyway. Okay. There we go. Good job, team. Okay, not like that. That's fine. Technically should probably have the ribbon on my Mazmune wielding dude. Also, fighters are encounter 7 and encounter 8 on this floor. Fighters are very good experience. If you move the war mech or make it forced, as some flags like to do, you'll get fighters instead on the war mech encounter. If you don't know what encounter 7 or 8 means, I can give you a whole explanation for that another time. Nacho Party! Okay, we gotta eat some nachos here. They're blue nachos today. They're sky nachos today. We punch the nachos, because who doesn't? I mean, if you really like a bowl, you just hit it. And that's the story of why I can't lose weight. Okay, this is not worth it. More nachos, yes please. They're dazzling nachos, that's even better. Alright. Now, how are we doing on spell charges? We still don't have any level 7 charges. That's pretty terrible. Because I do want to have one level 7 charge by the time we get through here, and I'm feeling really strong. So I'm gonna... Okay, we got one level 25 caster. That's still not a charge. Alright, so hopefully we won't need fast. If we do need fast, then we know what we gotta do. I didn't even learn fast yet. That's so terrible. I could be using Bane on Tiamat. Tiamat, it's not that Tiamat is weak against Bane. If I'm remembering my game mechanics right. That's not great. Lock 2 is great. Probably could have quad X'd in there somewhere too. That's not how we want to do this. Alright, so quad X. You can swing. Okay. Erased. Because quad X works, it's a level 8 spell, so if you're just familiar with the vanilla game, you're probably not going to be familiar with it, but the way it works... Okay, I wanted to actually do this as well. But the way quad X ends up working is that if you have less than 300 health, then you die. Unless you have like some specific resistance to it, like for instance, Chaos has specific resistance to quad X. Okay, so 3 fast casters, but nobody has the level 7 slot. So if I get turned away for some reason by Temple of Fiends Revisited, and I might at this point, then we're going to have a party with the Gasties. That's probably the best tile I saw. So Earth Cave Blast. I guess the crystal turned into the white shirt. I did say I was going to check the Holo Giants just to see if I could cheat out some experience. There's only a few tiles I'd take. That's not one of them. So like there's some safety things that I'm doing here tonight that I wouldn't normally do. But part of that is just trying to get the groove back into racing a little bit. Gargoyles, I definitely not. Alright. Okay, happy warp day. Let's go this way. Yes, I lost my free steps. I probably should have just power cycled, but whatever. Got an eyelash in my eye, that's fun. What? Did I just walk through a bat? Okay. We'll get the step specs later. Technically, it's shorter if I go down there, and that time it is because my eye kind of feels like it's on fire, so that's fun. And these are just blue light glasses. I don't really need them, but I'm in front of a computer enough during the day that anything I can do to stop anything from like hurting my eyes is really nice. But I'm gonna have to do this now, so awkward fun. Oh man, I got a hard thing in my eye. Okay, this chest is named after me from a race from a few years ago. It did not pay out today. It's weird being part of the game lore for something that I didn't even come up with. But I just happened to be in a race that benefited from it and people watched it, and there you go. George is trying to slow me down. Also, if you're familiar with the vanilla game, you may be wondering where are all the bats. There's lots of bats in the Earth Cave. Oh, we got poisoned again. Good times. The developers decide, you know what, let's throw the bats in here. So it's a bat party room. It's not always considered good luck to throw a door on the bat party room, but we just did it anyway. Here's a vampire. Blah, hello, green vampire. You're just like all the other vampires that we've already killed. Free chest also has nothing. It's really nice when that free chest has a ribbon or something you really need. Rod. Alright, did the rod from one extra space away. I didn't know you could do that. Alright, this is bugging me. Alright. Not much I can do about it now. Alright, so we are officially in go mode. I am over time right now, but once again, it's not a big deal. As you can see from the top right of my tracker, this is the 4th or 5th of these seeds that I've run. One of them I forfeited from, so I didn't even get a finish time on it. So there's still going to be a lot of variance in how my runs go here. Oh, this is too much. Alright. That's terrible. May have to get the eye patch out in a minute. You have an eye patch? I don't have an eye patch. Oh, we got a fast charge. A fast charge. Still counts. I thought about sticking around on the Hall of Destiny, the place in front of Tiamat where Warmat can appear, just specifically to get another level, but I couldn't remember how many levels you needed, and for some reason I decided to melee with Salt, who does not have the Mazimmune, so that's a waste. Hopefully the nuke bails me out. It doesn't. We have a Sun Sword. That's not a total waste. Alright, we're officially below time. This is not going to last, especially because we keep running into these jokers. Alright. I think I can do this. Mazimmune helps a lot. I gotta save my fast charge for somebody who really needs it, though. Alright, so Try's gonna go up here. Use the house. Let's have a good time. So, 112, 57, Temple of Fiends. Technically, we're already in the past. We're dragging our baby grand piano around. We are still going to take some smart fights. This is a smart fight when we have so many charges. There's not too many fights that are smart fights, but like worms are smart. I never checked to see Gasties if they were worth my time. Okay Man, not smart. Okay Man can just not do that. Alright. Oh look, you got some charges. Okay. Maybe I should have saved that fade for a rainy day, but I didn't. Okay, what's our... it's air. Literally air is blocking us. Oh, there's a joke there. Okay, bang out that tune. Metal slime, we take those. Even if they glare at us. And the reason I'm doing this is just to get a little bit of experience, because every little bit of hit points I get for this notoriously low hit point party is so that I can get a buffer for like AoE spells. Alright, so we're on the earth floor. Need to heal 3 twice. Should be fine. Ninja's in the front to get an ambush bonus, but he's low enough level that the enemy, it kind of gets balanced out by the enemies. Alright. So overall, good stuff. Been a very smooth run so far. Mud golems are no longer worth my time. except for maybe when they punch out my ninja. Do I respect the Lich today? Get your votes in now. Respect Lich, don't respect Lich. Respecting Lich means healing before Lich. Disrespecting Lich means just going into the fights. Okay, disrespect it is. Swing, fade, fade, swing. Oh, disrespect. For all I know, and I don't think the tournament safe flag is on, so we can actually dig into this enemy pool afterwards. For all we know, the Lich has like 2 nukes, a crack at the beginning and something, and we just totally RNG'd our way through that with good turn order. Tries dying. We don't want him to die necessarily because carry is gross. Carry is what cost me my run through the spring tournament last year. Because Sonirath decided, you know what, he was going to go and actually try the fight, and I said, you know what, I'm going to reset twice. And yeah, you know what, let's just go full nuke. Wow, actual contribution from Try. Good job, team. And just gonna fade here, swing. Now I don't remember what Carrie's Temple of Fiends health is, but it's definitely at least that. I think it's 800, and then 1200 for Kraken, who's gonna be a nightmare. Maybe? Maybe not. The fun part is we just don't know. Alright. It's actually... no. If I was doing racing strats, I wouldn't take this fight, even though we know the waters are weak. That's the best fight experience in the game, next to, like, Gasties. Whew, that was one off from Destiny with our tentacled friend. Alright. So, swing. I have no defensive spells, so lock 2. I actually don't have means to temper either, so maybe we just go crazy. Let's see what the swing does. Okay, so Kraken has pretty high defenses, which is a little problematic. Kraken hits like a truck, which is a little bit problematic. So we're switching to the nuke plan. If I had the Bane Sword on Try, I'd be using Bane on Try. So we need Kraken to have rolled low now. We need Kraken to hit Try. There we go. 1v1. Let's see if Quad X does it. Oh, good, we got a spell. Okay, Quad X does work on bosses, so... oh! And we have a charge remaining. Okay. And you have a charge remaining. And you have a lot of charges remaining. Alright. So, Kraken sucks. Tiamat probably also sucks. So let's nuke. Let's fade. We could Bane here, but it's usually not as good. You know what? Let's lock 2. And you have your fast charge, but we don't need it yet. Let's just swing and see what Tiamat has. Tiamat is throwing lightning out there. Okay. Lock 2 works. That's decent. Probably good enough to power glove as long as things don't turn terrible in a second. Okay, so far Tiamat's being cooperative. I mean, we still haven't seen Cure 4, we still haven't seen any nukes or nuclears, so Tiamat could be terrible. That's the joy of not knowing, is that you really just leave it to RNG. Salt is good, as they say, and that's a hit on good. That's who we do not want to have hit right now. In fact, we're going to switch it up here. We're just going to say, you know what, drinks are on the rest of the party. Let's see if good can get a good hit in. Oh boy. We didn't buy lamp. Okay, Tiamat's gone. Hooray. And it's a worm station. I'm not taking this fight. Okay, final boss. And, not too much to say other than thank you all who have stuck around through this whole run. I'm happy to show kind of what the randomizer looks like on the inside. Afterwards here, I think our party placement is good, but of course we're not going to count anything yet because we've got to actually see if we can win the damn game. So lock 2, fast, and swing. Not the right turn order, but we know now that we have a fairly evasive chaos that hits a little hard. We're going to take our little chip damage that we can get here. We're going to do a second lock 2. We'll do heal 3, and we will power glove. Power glove, like the NES tells us. So chaos is not hitting as hard as maybe I expected. Alright, so 2 heal 3 should be good. That means chaos is just saving it for later. Let's nuke. No, you'll heal 3. One of the great ways to lose time is being indecisive in your menuing. 8 hits for some damage. So I just need Chaos to not do that. Fortunately, did not get high rolled. Actually, Try lived. That's amazing. Be even more amazing if the black shirt got the kill. Heal 3 for sure. Nuke for sure. We gotta swing. We gotta go offense. We're going for the win here. But I'm over my split! Now, like I said, red mages, I typically want to have them at higher health than this, so you're dead. That sucks, but you got fast off, and that was Iz's job. And no darkness because of our hair accessory, that's great. Not the best damage there. And Nuclear gets the termination, so 122-23. That is a kill. And a record pace for Temple of Fiends, which is awesome. Let's see how I did. Submit. 012223. I am in. That's the wrong async. All right. Second place. Better than I thought. Not a lot of heavy hitters have really run yet, and I'm 17 minutes off first place. But for safety strategies and doing everything else and just kind of having fun on stream and not pausing when I look at the map and stuff and talk about the game, definitely happy with that. Alright, so winner is you. Let's look at our stats. 109 chest, which is pretty good considering that I had to dig out C. That doesn't count the chest that I opened in C before dying, so it's a little higher than 109. I ambushed 16 times, or I got ambushed 16 times, so Dead Thief, not doing your job, I guess. Can't talk. Losing my words. Thanks for the GG show. And let's see here, we've got the credit roll. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually get Hackster up and running. Because FF Hackster is a great tool that I run the old version of it. But it's a great way to kind of see maybe what you missed, what you could have enjoyed in the game, in the randomizer. You definitely don't want to use it before you run a seed because that's cheating. But you're really only just cheating yourself, or I guess your opponent. Also, it has a tendency to break saves afterwards here, so let's see. Let's open up the enemy editor here, and let's see if we can get Hackster to show. Oh, can I? Do I not have a Hackster window? Oh, I don't. That's cute. Window capture. All right. That's not what we want. That's what we want. Alright. So I'll make this nice and big. So for those of you that don't know how Final Fantasy Randomizer works, there's a few different things that happen, but one of them is like enemies will get different abilities. like Grimps, or Grumps as they're called here, with damage poison. Wolves, which are called Roos, with different stuff here. So these things get shuffled around quite a bit. The experience and stuff gets shuffled around too, but typically it kind of stays in range. We didn't have really any like super dangerous enemies this time that were like run stoppers. Crawls with glance gaze, that could have gotten bad, but there wasn't like anything that was super annoying other than like Ghost, but Ghosts are usually annoying anyway. It's just that this time, instead of punching me to death, they cracked my party to death. Chaos. Chaos had nuclear, but Chaos did not actually use nuclear. How this ability list works is that he doesn't have any magic, so it's either punch or use an ability. Or maybe we did see the nuclear. Yeah, we probably did. Because we saw nuclear, we saw ink, then blaze, then ink. This is actually a pretty tame Chaos, and I love how this goes for me because I'm old, and so I forget things within 5 minutes of doing them. But the agility was pretty low, and the defense was pretty low, so this Chaos was definitely beatable. Plus, it rolled, like I said before, if we look at the original flag set, Chaos will have at least 2,000 health because it's 100% of the life, at least 100% life total, and this Chaos load about as low as possible. That is a 101% roll. Tiamat 2 didn't really have anything very exciting other than double nuclears that she never got to. She also had Zap, which she never got to. Tiamat also rolling pretty low. Kraken being terrible, rolling 10 hits. Oh gosh, I dodged a Cure 4 there. So that's great. That turns out getting punched a lot by Kraken works out pretty well. I did win on the Quad X there, which is really exciting to get on stream. Carry, slow 2, that's a good place for that to land. Carry, for once, not super dangerous. And look, Lich with the nuclear, and Lich with nuke. That's what you like to see. So somebody would have run this and had gotten nuclear from Lich right away, even though there's a 3/4 chance that he would have gone to the magic pool first and just completely gotten roasted for disrespecting. But yeah, that was pretty tame. Warmech is the other boss that gets our boss rolls here and is immune to Quad X. There's another nuke. So overall, pretty tame. Pretty tame seed. 122 is a good time. It is a little bit over my time specifically, but once again, I'm not too concerned about times. So that's going to do it for this stream, but I'm going to see if I can host anybody just to pass it along, since I got hosted by 2 people here, which is amazing to get on a Friday morning. Let's see who is up and at 'em on Twitch right now. Is there anybody else doing Final Fantasy that would be good? Oh god, I don't know. It might just be me at this point. It might just be me. I almost said Final Fantasy. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube later, because this is getting posted to YouTube later, yeah, by all means, once again, take a look at the description. I don't want to do Final Fantasy, that one. Okay. I don't know if we have too much that's loaded up here right now. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, just know that I have links in the description for Spring Tournament, Discord, things like that. Lots of good stuff available, ready to see. And, you know, I don't know if I have anybody that's on my friends list that's actually streaming right now, which is a little strange. But it's fine. So I want to just wish you all a good night. And we're just going to pass this along to someone who's playing Noita, because Noita is a great game and is hopefully something that'll be entertaining to you all. And I got to remember what the frick his name is. All right. So let's just do it this way. Final Fago. Time to make another friend. So host. Oh god, I can't spell. Why would you put that like that? Okay. All right, so there's the host, there's everything else. Thank you all for watching. You all have a great night, and we'll do this again soon. Take care.